Good afternoon. Welcome to the Meltdown. Hope you've had a great day. I got to tell you, the ups and downs in life sometimes throw you curveballs, but when you're not really sure what you're swinging at, go for a grand slam. That's how I look at it. Now, Michael's doing some research while I'm talking to y'all, and I want to let you know that it's obvious that for any company to speculate the value of gold, the cost of production at 600 would be a little bit far-fetched, knowing that I've looked at companies that claim that their cost of production, their actual balance sheet comes off between about $1,050 and $1,200. Now, those numbers fluctuate, obviously, depending on the price of gold and I guess the other variables that they look at. I'm looking at reality, okay? This isn't gloom and doom. It's not the sky is falling, but for 99% of America to only own 80% of the country, you got to understand that we are over leveraged and we're running out of time. That's why you find the wealthy looking for value in any spot that they think they can find it. Now, just before I came on, there's a story about a gentleman in England who dumped his hard drive, and the hard drive contains 7,500 bitcoins. That's approximately $9 million. That's a pretty scary place to be. And when you get right down to it, on Friday, the cryptocurrency, as it's called, broke through $1,200. Well, that makes it worth about the same as gold. You know, it's funny because as of yet, there's no purported acquisitions by central banks of bitcoins. Matter of fact, politicians, countries have come out and said they're afraid of Bitcoin, that it could absolutely damage the economy. I'm not buying the Commerce Department, their claim of a 4% growth of our economy, because when you get right down to it, the reality of life is that credit cards are getting hammered. People are spending their paychecks trying to get ahead. And for me, I'm looking at what else is going on out there. I want to understand more about my industry. The Mint has put forth a plan to change the design of platinum coins. Now, it doesn't seem like it would be a major deal. But for the people who are out there that are collecting, it is a major deal. There's a reason to buy more platinum. Now, I do watch the platinum to gold spread. It's back at about 10% premium for platinum over gold. I look at the dollar still languishing in the same trading zone that it's been in most of the week. And finally, the euro is up against the dollar. The Canadian dollar has started to move. Euros are up. You know, it's really a sad state of affairs when you know people who go out and clean other people out. There was nobody happy with Bernie Madoff. There was nobody happy with Ken Lay. There's nobody happy with Jeff Skilling or any of those people that were tied to Enron. Nobody, when they find out the depth of deceit or stealing, is really happy with the result. This is that time where you got to be right with God, and ultimately finding ways to preserve your wealth is key. Now, I like coins and I love them. Michael, have you got that I can look at again? I want to point out a few other things. Thank you. Folks, this is, I do a lot of things online, and I look for reasons for things to appreciate. I've got a regular customer. I guess he's probably spent a little over $500,000 or so the last couple of years. It's been a very quiet year. He does very well. And so he called me today and asked me about buying gold. Well, what I can tell you about the acquisition of gold is that you can do it in the most recognizable forms, typically a gold eagle, a maple leaf, a Krugerrand, a 1 ounce gold panda, 1 ounce bar, maybe a kilo bar. I like $20 gold pieces. And specifically, I like $20 gold pieces because people love big, beautiful coins. But they also like and need multiple dates of coins. And the reason, that's simple. You've got to have multiple dates because when Ronald Reagan passed Public Law 99-185 that authorized the Treasury to begin making gold coins again, the language of the law deems the coins to be numismatic. That just means they're collectible. Well, they're not collectible if you hoard them. If you buy 20 to 100 coins and they're all the same date and they're all the same type, that's hoarding. And that mattered back in May of 1933 when President Roosevelt started confiscating gold. Today, my concern is that because silver and platinum are being struck by the U.S. Mint, because they scratched their head and considered palladium, my desire is to make sure that you fit the criteria of being, quote, a collector. Collecting is really just a matter of different varieties, different types of coins, because ultimately those different types of coins protect you from the thought of confiscation. Now, there's no way that the government is going to come through so from that standpoint, when I look at this stuff, I'm looking at coins literally that other people are going to want. Those are the coins that other collectors add to their portfolios. There's a major collection of $20 gold pieces coming up the first part of January. And it's an annual auction. It's going to have thousands of people watching what's going on out there. And while the activity level will start now, it's in the auction room, it's on the telephone. It's understanding that there's thousands of people that are placing bids, and whether the bids are strong today, they will get stronger as we approach the first of the calendar year. Now, for those of you that have been praying for me, for my son, I will have Jason from the 28th of December until the 5th of January, and it's very exciting. And while I'd hoped that I'd have him during Christmas, anytime I get to see him is a joy. So please continue to pray for the situation for myself and for my son. Now, that having been said, a lot of people want to own finest known material. And for me, it's about maintaining a liquidity factor. It's about owning coins whether they're circulated or not. I can tell you that an 1893 San Francisco Morgan silver dollar in about uncirculated, that's AU50, and then there's 53, 55, and 58, but an AU50 typically is a coin that auctions between 23 and 25,000. If you can find them for much under 27 to 30,000, then that's a really important factor. Now, I can tell you that there were coins that are from the Eagle collection that are coming up. There are 3 coins in particular. The 1879 New Orleans is a mint state 60. The 1884 is a proof-only year, and the 1887 is a proof 66. Now, these coins still say Eagle Collection, and they're important to me because I'm the one that put together 94% of this set. I can tell you for sure that of these 3 specific pieces, none of them sold for over $100,000 in 1998 and 1999 when I built the set. I appreciate the opportunity from the gentleman who lives in Washington State. It was a great opportunity, and for NGC, they learned about all of the different characteristics of the dates and the mints because nobody at the time had ever had the opportunity to grade a complete set. Even the collection at the Smithsonian wasn't complete. The only other set that had been built was by Louis Eliasberg. He was a Baltimore banker in 1950. He's the only man that will have ever gone down in history as owning one example of every coin struck by the date and mint mark, period. It'll never happen again because there are unique coins that were sold off, and those coins in and of themselves will never come back together. But that having been said, the 1887 is currently bid at $220,000. No, not 220. $220.
Yes.
Well, in that case, we can just clearly say that if it's only $220, nobody's gotten active with it yet. Those coins will bring huge numbers, and they will far exceed what they originally sold for because the coins are uniquely rare. Now, one of the other coins that's going to be in this sale is a 1927D $20 St. Gaudens gold piece, graded mint state 66. This is a coin that I will tell you on the front end of the auction will probably sell for in excess of $500,000. My point is that there's billions of coins out there. And so whether you're looking to put together a circulated set of barber coinage or copper coinage, or you're going after $20 gold pieces, you own material that maintains liquidity and allows you the benefit of growth, of being in an area that other people are involved in. Now, the SS Central America was a shipwreck that contained 50% of all of the California gold rush gold. It was a major ordeal. The ship left from San Francisco under a different name. It wasn't the Central America, because the Central America was pretty much on the eastern seaboard. But the ship went from California all the way down to Panama, and then by wagon and horses, obviously. They trucked it across Panama, put it on the ship. The ship went down off of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. It contained 50% of the California gold rush gold. Bars were covered. The Eureka bar, about 80 pounds, is the largest bar ever. And so my point in bringing all of this up is that you can get coins that have historical value, they can have pedigree, they can have the right look. Everything trades, and there is a buyer for everything. Even a collection that I put together back in 98 and 99 sees coins coming back to the marketplace. These are high-end, high-grade pieces for the date, for the mint that it was produced in, and there will be clients out there that are trying to get those coins, just like there are people out buying coins today all over this country from $1 to $50, so they can use them as stocking stuffers, so they can start to build collections that they pass on to their heirs. Anyway, folks, I looked at what was going on around town, driving into downtown out to the medical center. I'd ask that you please keep the Smith family in your prayers. I saw Robert today. The man had a double lung, triple bypass 2 days ago. The breathing tubes are out, totally coherent, wonderful color. He's progressing well. I know he'll be in the hospital for a few weeks, but Shannon and his mom and dad and these people are just great believers in faith, and seeing what the doctors did was just fabulous. And I appreciate St. Luke's for the time and the commitment they've got to the people that are there throughout all the hospital systems around this country and around the world for that matter. My concern is that people listen to a podcast, or they go back and listen to one of the 500 or 600 shows over the last several years, and they don't get to come out of it with the real understanding that matters, and that is that it's all about owning different types of commodities and different qualities so that you do your best job of avoiding confiscation, that you understand what's reportable and what's not reportable. All capital gains and losses are reportable, but that's between you, your conscience, and the IRS, and not necessarily me. It's from that standpoint that I want to provide you good, sound information, help you make logical conclusions so that at the end of the day, you can be happy with the transactions. Anyway, I'm going to cut this show short. Boy, say that 3 times fast. And make sure that you know how to reach me. 281-548-COIN. That's 281-548-2646. You can call me toll free. That's 877-705-2646. Hit option 0, get a live voice. Typically, we close a little bit early on Fridays. I'll see if Kelly will hang out a little bit longer today. Folks, this is the time to really get serious about moving some assets around. It isn't about trying to maximize and find the top any more than it is trying to get out before you hit the bottom. It's about a consistent message of diversification. And whether you're in the stock market, the bond market, things aren't going to change. They're going to get worse before they get better. That's a change. But reality is that people lose money every day. The question is, can you afford to take the hit that you're facing? I don't want you in that position, which is why I ask people to move 5 to 20% of their money around. More aggressive, you might get to 30 or 40%. It's just a question of how much risk you're willing to take and how much money you may or may not lose. Anyway, I hope you'll consider donating to Texas Children's Hospital, the Downs Clinic, and the Ronald McDonald House. If you go to themeltdown.com, click on the donation banners. You can provide your information to either of those links. The information is anonymous. For me, you'll get a charitable receipt from the 501c3s you support. At the Ronald McDonald House, there are 20 to 40 people minimum every night that stay in the 20 rooms on the 4th floor. If you can provide a hot meal, please call 832-824-8600. That's 832-824-8600. I appreciate the doctors, the nurses, the staff, and of course the volunteers at Texas Children's throughout the hospital network, the Med Center, and around the world. I love the kids and I do anything to help them. If you need me, email me anytime. That's Brett, B-R-E-T-T, at thegoldexchange.net. Have a great day. Be careful. The weather's going to get worse this weekend. I appreciate you listening and hope you'll reach out for me. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Happy hunting and happy shopping. Bye-bye.